All right, you've come to the right place. I'm going to give you exactly what you need. A little bit of hope, a little bit of confidence, because the market has been rough over the last week. I want to show you why I think this is a good thing long term, why there's a lot of money making opportunities, and how to be strong and follow the smart money and don't swallow or follow the dumb money. Let's jump straight in. SPX 6900. Now, this is one of Murad's strongest conviction out of all meme coins. He thinks this is going to get to a $100 billion market cap, which is almost now a 200x from here. Now, if it's right, it's fantastic that it's pulled back because we can move more money. And if you've got dry powder, you should have some dry powder. However, a lot of people are like, well, it ran up, guys. It ran up from a $1 million market cap. It did a 600x. It did a more than that, a 1500x. And now it's coming down. And it could possibly be that it's never going back up. Sure, that is possible. Let me show you why I think that's personally not true. Because I've been following the smartest people in the world, people who have made hundreds of millions, literally hundreds of millions, if not tens of millions of dollars in the last cycles. I'm going to show you what they had to hold through. I'm going to show you why they believe that we're going to go up overall in 2025, and you have to be able to hold through these dips. So Sensei says, old season will start. Just be patient. That is the key that a lot of new traders specifically don't have. January 2017, look what happened. It's actually Feb, apparently 2017, skyrocketed. This is the parabolic year. Historically, every 4 years, you have a massive parabolic year. This year's supposed to be the super cycle, so the parabolic year of all parabolic years. Again, 4 years ago, 2021, you guys probably remember this. I definitely remember this fun that we had back here. Parabolic in Feb 2021. Again, we're in Feb 2025 now. It's projected to be the super cycle. And even back here, back in 2013, this was also, this little bump down here was massive back at the time, but it's just because each cycle gets bigger and bigger that it looks tiny back there. But every 4 years, historically, you've had what Raoul Pal calls the banana zone, which is where things go so parabolic that the shape of the graph looks like a banana, as you can see down here. This is the banana zone 2013. Remember, we showed you how tiny that little bump is here. Have a look when there's nothing to compare it to, exactly how crazy those gains are. Same again, 2017. Same again, 2021. This is where we are now. We're in 2025. It's supposed to be the year of the banana. I don't know if that's one of those Chinese New Year signs, but at least in crypto, this is known as the year of the banana. And sure, it might be counter to what historically has played out every 4 years. It's possible. But it's an asymmetric bet to think, especially with the M2 money supply going up, with a pro-crypto government, with the Bitcoin halving, with all liquidity flowing into crypto because inflation's been crazy and people don't know where else to put their money without it like literally falling through their fingers. It's likely to be a super cycle in 2025, and I'm personally betting on it. I'm going to give you 3 examples of people like Luke Belmar who made hundreds of millions or tens of millions of dollars, depending on which example I'm about to show you, holding through these downs in the last market. Luke Belmar actually responded to CZ as he was stepping down as the CEO of Binance. This is back in 2023 was this post. Luke Belmar says, I bought BNB, the token, in 2017 at $2. Thanks for the rocket ship. So if you guys don't know Luke Belmar's story, he made tens of millions of dollars with BNB and PancakeSwap back in 2017 in that bull run. Now, I want to show you what that actually looks like. This is the BNB token that I believe he made about 20 million US dollars on this, which is pretty impressive. Back in 2017, down here at $2. So let's have a look where the token price is $2. About here, very early on, $2.30, so maybe a little bit after that. Have a look at the journey that he went on in order to sell it for that 200 or 300x. So say he bought 200 grand here at $2. He would have already held it down to just 70 grand. So his 200 grand would have become 70 grand with this very first pullback. And then it's going to go parabolically up. So his 70 grand is going to become $2 million. And again, he doesn't cash out. Remember, he made $20 million. And then from that point, have a look at this pullback. He's $2 million. Remember, he turned 200 grand into $2 million in this example. Massive fall down to 800 grand. So his $2.1 million literally becomes 800 grand. That is where a lot of people are like, well, that's over. We should have sold at the top. But that would have been a mistake if you continue to watch. Although not a mistake for a long time. This is now in 2018, all the way to the end of 2018. Almost a year of, damn it, I should have sold. And then all the way down to $4. So once again, your 200 grand, which went to 2 mil, a year later is now just 400 grand. And people are like, well, that's it. It's over. And you can see what I'm also trying to show you here is the time period is long. That was a whole year of waiting. And maybe we're in Feb now. Maybe we don't have much until July, and then it goes absolutely parabolic. Maybe it could be next week. We don't know. You have to be patient. You have to be strong in your convictions in order to really cash in. Have a look, though, where it went. So it was here at $4, 400 grand, skyrocketed back up to $3.5 million just for holding. And yep, that's where it peaked at $3.5 million. But then again, you're back at the $1.3 million level. So look at this, another hold. It's like, damn it, I should have sold. Well, no, it would have been a bad idea because look at this now. Holding out 3 years to 2021, finally crossing into the $4 million, the $5 million, the $13 million, the $25 million. Have a look at it absolutely skyrocket from that one investment you made way back then. And a peak there, if you did put the 200 grand investment, again, these numbers are hypothetical, but I'm estimating what Luke Bummer would have done. It would have been worth about $63 million at the peak. I actually believe I've done the numbers on Luke before, that he sold as it was coming back down. I don't think he timed the top perfectly. I don't remember the exact details, but he made tens of millions of dollars from that trade, having to hold through these ups and downs, these 50 to 70% pullbacks. Alex Becker, this is him talking about Sandbox at about 4 cents. Now, Alex Becker says he's made multiple 8 figures off crypto in the 2021 cycle. Sandbox was one of his big calls that he made a lot of money on. And if you can see back here, back in 2020, when Sandbox was about 4 cents, he would have had to wait and go through, and we'd have to go through the specific examples, but I want to show you maybe some of the major ones. So from 4 cents, it rode all the way up to 80 cents, a 20x on your money, and then crumbled all the way down to 16 cents. So think about the losses that you have to hold through for that. But if you're like, okay, we're over, I mean, maybe that was true, but it turns out it wasn't. Maybe it's true now. Most likely it's not because we're in the banana zone year. It built all the way back up to an all-time high of $7.20. Remember, he got in at about, well, I don't actually know if he got in. He was talking about it on this tweet. I don't know where he got in, but I know he made millions of dollars on the Sandbox play. For the person who did get in at 4 cents, to be able to sell it somewhere up here in the $5 to $7 range is just an insane ROI, but you have to take the L's. You have to go from 70 cents here all the way down to, what did we got? About 20 cents, that massive pullback. You have to be able to ride that out in order to get the banana zone. Otherwise, you don't get it. John, Crypto God John, a guy who apparently turned 3 grand into multiple mils. Not 1 mil, multiple $1 million for just 3 grand. Link was one of his best calls here. May 11th, 2018. Link, you will change my life forever. This is Chainlink, the token. You will make me a multi-millionaire in a few years. Just want to mark this here so I can come back to it in 2020, 2021. He already, for some reason, he was blessed with being patient. He was like, okay, I'm just going to buy this token and come back in 2 years. He didn't expect things to happen overnight. And the comment now, someone came back and says, this shaped up very well because he bought it in 2018. I believe he got it at about 40 cents is the number that I remember. And we don't have to go through the whole thing again, but you can see, say you buy it at 40 cents and here it's at 55 cents, drops down to half of what you bought it for. You're 50% down. If you put 3 grand in, which is apparently what he did, you're now at $1,500. You're like, well, that was a waste of time. Before it moved parabolically up, all the way up to $3.50, which is about a 10x. If you put 3 grand in, now you're rolling with like 28 to 30 grand. Fantastic. But guess what? You have to take that massive pullback down to $1.70. Now you're down to 14 grand and you had 30. Damn, I should have sold. No, you shouldn't have sold because look what happens next. Absolutely parabolic up to $20. And then you're like, well, maybe I should have sold that top because now I've halved the money again. Well, once again, you would have been wrong because this thing peaked at $50. Now, only briefly did it peak at $50, but once again, look at that timeline. That's about a 3-year run up. And you don't know when the actual drop, because let's be real, the actual drop happens. This went from $50 down to $14, and yeah, it rebounded a little bit, but by the time it rebounds, you're like, oh, where was that 50? Let's get it back. There is going to be a time where it drops and doesn't return for another 4 years or whatever the cycle plays out to be. So dollar cost averaging on the way up is highly recommended unless you think you can time the top, which maybe that's a fun game you like to play with yourself. But there's 2 keys to this. 1, you have to make sure you're in the right tokens, which is why you want to be subscribed to this channel, because we look at the top influencers in the world, people like Becca, people like John, people like Elio, people like Murad, all the people who have made tens of millions of dollars in the past, and have a look at what tokens they're buying, look at what their portfolios are, so we can copy trade the best and we're not getting stuck in some random side crappy coin that's going to drop and never return. The second thing you have to consider is make sure you're not playing with money you can lose. This is an asymmetric bet, but it's not a sure thing. In my personal opinion, I think there is a 75 to 80% chance that we go parabolic. Now, there's probably a way less chance than that we're going to time the top perfectly, which is why you dollar cost average out. But there's a 20% chance something goes wrong. The Trump administration do something that we don't want in the crypto community, or some crazy crisis in the world breaks out on a scale that we've seen recently in the 4 years, and everything crashes to the floor. Everyone needs their cash and their liquidity. But for me, I have spare capital. I'm betting that 80% likely that a lot of these tokens, including SBX, is going to give me a 10, 20, 50, 100x. I want to move the capital over there and then literally close my eyes, go into a coma, wait to see at least 10x, 20x, 50x, and dollar cost average my way out before retail floods in with absolute hype and hysteria. And actually making this video, I was reading some of Becker's old tweets about the sandbox top and how he's like, guys, this is crazy. We should be selling. He's like, it's absolute hysteria, and I'm pretty sure this feels like a top. You haven't seen any reputable influencers saying things like that yet, and when you do, that's when you know it's probably definitely the top, because if Becker's saying things are getting crazy when Theta Arena had a $5.5 billion market cap and barely a working game and insane dilution, that's when we're going to head to the exits and head to the entrance stores of the Ferrari and the yacht dealerships. But for now, at least for me personally, I'm betting on a super cycle. I hope this is informative so you can make your decision. Are we going to go super cycle, or do you think that was the end? Comment below. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next video.